Hello investors, today I'm coming to you from a park just outside my house. Just kind of enjoying the day, just kind of sitting outside, and thought I would cover the top 7 stocks set to explode for this next coming Monday. And I'll also just kind of talk a little bit about myself, about some of the successes that I've had in the stock market and success that I've had in picking stocks. I haven't been doing this a really long time. I've been kind of messing around with it for about 13 years, but in the last 4 years is when I just kind of discovered a few catalysts that happen with stocks that really help them to go crazy, and they give those nice steady inclines that you like to see as a stock investor. And I definitely don't know everything, but in the last 4 years, I've calculated exactly what my gain is, and it's 2,760% return in the last 4 years. So I've grown very confident in that if a certain catalyst happens, how that stock typically performs based after that, and so that you can own it anywhere between 2 all the way to 30 days. In 2019, I had a 232% gain. That was the best year that I've ever had. There was a lot of really great picks that I was able to make and kind of see, just as time was going on. In 2020 so far, even with everything that's going on, I'm right now up 175%, which I think is pretty amazing. So just keeping at it. I'm going to keep at it with this pick list, and some of the great picks that I had in 2019. The first one that I had was Solo. I was able to buy it for right around 90 cents, and then it skyrocketed after insider activity and a few other reasons, all the way to $6 when I sold out. Felt pretty good about that one. Another one was Lampex, that was a brand new stock, but had gigantic insider activity, and so I took notice. Was able to pick it up right around $7 a share and sold it right at $30 a share. And this was within a week. So was able to take advantage of that. So some of these things that just happen, it's just crazy that no one really pays attention to them, or you don't see any of those day trader gurus talking about a lot of these stocks that I pick. And that's one thing I kind of noticed is some of these have very little coverage, and then they go nuts. And all the information was there. You just had to know where to look and how to look. So in 2020 so far, Casavia Sciences, that was a big one. Again, that one had insider activity, was very good. AQST, I made a lot of money on it because of PDUFA upcoming FDA approval. I was able to buy into it and just kind of ride it and just kept going. So I never sold it, just kept going. So one thing I've kind of discovered, a lot of investors look for price targets, and I would say price targets are bad. And the reason I don't like price targets is because you're putting your own expectation on a stock, and the indicators and the market is what determines it. So we don't control the market. So if a lot of times when you have a price target on it, you sell it for too little because you hit that price target and it still had a lot more to go because of indicators. It just still had more to go. Or we hit the price target and we don't sell it and then it crashes. Or it never hits the price target because it has bad factors that happen to the stock where it starts to fall. So I just really don't like price targets. So I have a lot of people ask me, hey, what's the price target on this? Well, I don't really like to do that. So I just kind of decided that going forward, price targets are bad. They keep us from realizing our full potential in the stock. Some other great picks I've had this year. One was APT, just with everything that was going on in the world. This was just a news catalyst stock. They said that, came out with news saying that their sales had increased, and it went from $9 a share to $37 a share. So there are opportunities everywhere. You just need to know how to look and what type of catalysts get you there. So many people look at charts and, oh, it's got the double helix, double cross, whatever. And it's really the catalyst that's making that stock going up, not just because the chart shows some kind of imaginary figure in the way that the lines move. And I know that's extra simplistic, but I've found in my experience, this is just my experience, and this is what works for me, catalysts are the deal. That is what you're looking for. You can day trade, people day trade and make money. I am not a day trader. I don't believe in day trading. In my opinion, it is not the way, especially if you have a job. I mean, how do you day trade if you have a job? I mean, there's no way you can really do your job well and do that type of investing. So it just isn't. And again, there are people who do it and have certain indicators that they follow very closely. And a lot of the indicators I look at are very similar. It's just a longer term. And if the catalyst is right, you can do that, and you can do it safely. The catalyst that I look for provide for perfect setups for 2 to 30-day holds. And there are some stocks that, I get into, I'm excited about the catalyst, and then it gets that big initial jump, and then it starts to show bad factors that are kind of coming out. And I have a 3 strikes you're out kind of approach, and when those 3 things happen, it's time to get out. And so I will, and I won't hold it through all of that. And you have to let the indicators you have to let the catalysts perform when you're going to buy, and you're going to have to look for the sell indicators for when to sell. I'm going to be doing videos about both of those things coming up. And but anyway, let me just get to the top 7 list. The top 7 stocks set to explode is what I'm going to call it going forward. Number 7, which for whatever reason has been the lucky number of this list. It seems that number 7 is the stock that goes nuts here this last week. So apparently there's no rhyme or reason between number 7 and number 1. But number 7 for me is CBAT. And I'll have these in the description below, kind of cover it. CBAT had insider activity on Friday, reported of about $2 million. This is a very small stock, very micro cap. Typically I don't like these, but to see that type of insider activity, I was very excited to see it. I was like, ooh, that looks good. And I picked up some pre-market, and then it got way out of control as far as the price goes, and I kind of pulled it back. I may have to get some more early Monday is what I'm hoping to. But anyway, I think it's going to be a good pick. It might be a shorter kind of term pick. I'm thinking maybe 2 or 3 days. We'll let the indicators decide, but you should be okay to go ahead and hold. This one shouldn't be a day trade, which I hate day trades. So I don't ever try to recommend a stock for a day trade. Number 6, EPZM. Now this is a long-term hold. I think that, it's going to start to climb here soon. We're starting to see more and more volume on this stock, also with an uptick in price, which is the 2 indicators that I look for before I go into a PDUFA stock. So on June 18th, the FDA is going to make a decision about their drug. I don't know if it's going to be positive or negative. Again, I really don't care, because I'm going to watch for the accumulation of this and get in at early accumulation and ride the price up. And then when I see sell indicators that I look at, then I'll sell. But typically that's 1 to 2 days before FDA decision. I do not hold stocks through FDA decisions. Next is LJPC. LJPC had insider activity that was extremely bullish, and I think it is set to explode. So at any time, this one can just really start to go crazy. I've been in it for a couple days. Anyway, it's on the top 7 list. Number 5, I think it'll do great. Next is HCHC. This was on Friday morning's list, and it's still here. HCHC had insider activity 2 days in a row. So they reported on Thursday night, and then they reported again on Friday night, more insider activity. Something is brewing at HCHC. So I feel very confident about the price that I got in on it. I'm just a little bit up so far. I'm looking to ride it for 20, 30, 40% gain. We shall see what happens. We'll see what the indicators bring. Number 3 is NSPR. Insider activity. Yes, it was smaller insider activity to those that want to point that out to me, but very bullish, and lots of good things for this company. They recently closed on a public offering, so we have an open market insider activity that did not match the offering price, and we have an offering that's expected to be announced closed first thing Monday morning. So I'm expecting this thing to really go up for those reasons. So I feel really good about it. All right, number 2, just rocking right along. Number 2 is HPQ. So this one was, I believe, number 6 on the list on Friday morning. Now it's all the way up to number 2. They just won a court decision that was $484 million. So I'm feeling pretty good about the price of this thing and pretty good about all that insider activity. So they had insider activity on Wednesday night. They had insider activity on Thursday night. And so then I recommended it Friday because I'm like, ooh, something's going on here. And then Friday evening, they announced that they get to keep $484 million from a court win. It's just a huge win for them. Now, don't panic if HPQ is down in pre-market on Monday because it is their ex-dividend date. So they are paying a dividend. So we get a little double whammy, a little extra gift. But I expect that lower price just to be temporary. That is just because of the dividend payout. On ex-dividend date, typically, to those that don't know out there, on ex-dividend date, if they're paying a 2% dividend, the stock price will be 2% down that pre-market of the ex-dividend date because the money has to come from somewhere to pay the investors for the dividend. So don't panic if HPQ is just down a little bit. In fact, I don't expect it to be down. I mean, with that court win, I think that people will be scooping it up like crazy pre-market. I'd be a fool not to. I really think this one's going to take off. Also, it's because of everything that's been going on in the world, this particular stock has been down due to just what's going on. It has not recovered yet, so it's not even close to where it should be. So HPQ could be a $40 a share stock. So being able to buy it at the rate that it's at right now is, I think, easy money. You know, so I would highly recommend getting that. And number 1 on the list, which was number 7 on Friday. So it's gone from 7 to 1. And the reason why is because I've been watching EVOK, EVOK. It has been on the list for the last week. I've been watching it and owning it and just kind of waiting on it for volume to tick up on it because I expect that their FDA approval is actually going to get approved. And so that being the case, their June 19th date, we should see a really strong run up because EVOK is worth quite a bit more money than it's trading at right now. I would think that it could go to $5 a share. Right now it's around the 260 range. So you can see that's a lot of growth. So that could, so we're going to start to see that big run up start to happen here. And it looks like it really started on Friday. So we saw the price start to increase along with the volume massively increase. So there's some money pouring into it. It'd be a good idea to get into it early. It'd be a good idea to get it in on it Monday, not to wait on this pick because it is going to go up. It is going to have a lot of accumulation this next week and really rock it up. And I don't know if anyone out there has figured it out, but how I come up with the 1 through 7 list is that I pick these stocks based on their catalysts, and then I choose number 1 based on which one has made me the most percentage gain since the time it started. And so anyway, that's what's going on. So that's why number 7 can suddenly become number 1 because of some of the crazy growth that can happen within these picks. Yeah, just stay diligent out there. You know, I have a couple ideas for some videos, you know. If my future editor is out there watching, you know, I'd like maybe some explosions when I say top 7 stocks set to explode. You know, I'd like to see like EVOK just be there in the letters and go, okay, these are just some ideas that I have. Just if you're watching this video later and you discover, oh yeah, that's a great idea. We can make a stock explode. Yeah, anyway. Anyway, just remember that, you know, to find what works for you, to find catalysts. Catalyst is the way to go, and not to day trade, in my opinion. I don't think it's the way. And keep working on your skills out there and be safe investing. All right, thanks.